Hi there, everybody. Happy to be here today. Nikki Elsing, registered dietitian nutritionist, and I am excited to bring Joanne Shear Parkin, master's level dietitian, to you to tell you about a new product that we've recently launched, and products, I should say, as we're looking at nutrient delivery systems according to time, circadian rhythms, amounts, nutrients, just giving you exactly what you're needing based on the time of day. And we're learning a lot more about circadian rhythms and the importance of food choices and nutrient choices. And it's really exciting to be able to be here to have Joanne with her over 50 years. I think you just celebrated your 50-year
Yes.
anniversary as being in nutrition and as an expert, as a dietitian, and the amount of lives and influence she's had over the years in organizations, large groups, media, writing cookbooks, bringing in the Mediterranean diet into a hospital system where there's high quality food. I mean, that one thing alone is a huge, huge achievement. And just knowing that that was just one of the things that she was able to accomplish in her 50-year career. And now we're blessed to have her in LifeVantage and being able to learn more as we discuss these daily nutrients. So Joanne, thank you
Yes.
for being here, and I'm
Yes.
going to let you take it over.
Well, thank you. And thank you very much, Nikki, for that warm welcome and introduction. And so I'm going to get to right to our topic today. That is the three new products that LifeVantage has launched in the last week. And these are high quality nutrients that are delivered to us in something called a Timewise nutrient delivery system, right? Nutrients, right amounts, and right times. So let's get right into it. And so what you're going to hear today is I give you kind of an overview of each of the products and why micronutrients are essential, more details about the nutrient delivery system, and then how micronutrients are related to activation. And so why do we need nutrient supplementation? That's because we're just not getting enough of them in our diet. So the United States Department of Agriculture has their dietary guidelines that they've published. And part of those dietary guidelines is that they do these extensive food surveys of Americans. They survey thousands of Americans and what they're eating. And this is what they've found is that most Americans have these shortfall nutrients. They're just not getting enough of these. And there's like 10 of them. Fiber, choline, magnesium, calcium, vitamin A, vitamin D, vitamin E, and vitamin C, iron for women. And, I might add B12 to that, even though most older adults are getting B12. May get enough adequate B12, but they're not maybe utilizing it as well and need to supplement because of that. And so some of the inadequate intakes in US, as far as US adults, and how just seriously deficient our intakes are some of these nutrients. I mean, look at calcium and magnesium, 70%, vitamin D. I've read everything from 35 to 50% on average for adults in the United States. Older adults, I've read that, and I've heard data that they're 65% in the vitamin D. I already talked about the B12, especially older adults. And so how do you feel if you're not getting enough nutrients? You might have general fatigue, depressed immunity, your thinking skills may be declining. You just may have overall poor health. And you might say, but I eat a healthy diet. I mean, that's me. That's Nikki, right? We really pride ourselves on really working hard on eating a nutrient-dense diet. But even if you're eating a healthy diet, our foods and our soils just are not as nutrient-dense as they used to be. Average vegetable intake, average vegetable content is 5% to 40% lower in mineral content than what they were 50 years ago, right? There's certain medical conditions that you might have that actually can impair nutrients and how they're utilized or increase your need for specific nutrients. I can think of diabetes and magnesium, that your need for magnesium is significantly increased. Prescription drugs can interfere with your nutrients, either deplete them. Mainly that's what the issue is. Can interfere with utilization of your nutrients. And then we have nutrients that are lost in transportation, storage, and cooking. So even if you're eating a healthy diet, chances are you're going to need to add in some nutrients. And, already I think it's somewhere around, 58% of Americans are already supplementing with some kind of nutrient supplement. So why would I recommend these versus other nutrients? Well, these nutrients have something that's called Timewise nutrient delivery. This is very, very unique and trademark by LifeVantage. And again, it's right nutrients, right amounts at the right time. And I'm going to go in a little more detail here so you'll know what that all means. This Timewise nutrient delivery system was actually designed, and it was in conjunction with Dr. Alexander Michaels at the Linus Pauling Institute at the Institute's Micronutrient Information Center. And this gentleman is a biochemist. He's got degrees in molecular biology, genius and expert at micronutrients and designing and formulating micronutrient supplements. So Dr. Michaels worked in conjunction with our bright scientists at our R&D, right, Nikki? So we have the brilliant scientists with the Linus Pauling Institute and with our LifeVantage R&D scientists. And this is the team of scientists that have brought these micronutrient supplements to the marketplace. And so I'm so proud to be representing these. Pretty cool, Nikki.
Oh my gosh, Joanne, like just that slide alone gives me goosebumps. Just thinking about the power and potential behind the people that have come up with this, and we get to have this in part of our product line.
Yeah, and it's great because you and I don't have to be a molecular biochemist and try to, figure all this out, right, Nikki? We're not
right.
We're biochemists and specialists in micronutrients in the laboratory.
Right.
We have so much confidence in these products because of the brains behind them, right?
Exactly.
Couldn't get anything better than Linus Pauling Micronutrient Institute. So the first of these products is, I call it a bone building supplement. It's a D3 plus. And so it has 2 forms of vitamin K2, 5 different forms of calcium, and 4 different forms of magnesium. These were specifically, and a lot of thought put into choosing these specific forms of these minerals because of how they react in our body and act in our body, and what they all have different functions. It's just like genius when you think about these formulas and how they added these particular minerals. But I want to talk a little bit about the MK7 that's been added to this product because it's, excuse me, it's really critically important that you take cofactor nutrients along with your calcium. The big mistake, and I say the old school and the old technology of the past, is that women would load up on 1,200 milligrams a day of calcium carbonate. And the research is showing that your body can't utilize all that calcium carbonate alone. You need cofactor nutrients so you can get the calcium carbonate, the calcium, into the bones. And if that calcium is floating around in the bloodstream, not getting into the bones, it can get deposited in your vessels, in your blood vessels, in your arteries, and especially your coronary arteries. That's a bad thing, right? You don't want to get the calcium to build up in your blood vessels. And so what MK7 does is vitamin K2, MK7, it helps to prevent that. It prevents any calcium buildup in your arteries. So this is just an example of some of the genius behind these supplements. One thing that is in here that I had not heard about before, Nikki, and this is new to me, was calcium fructoborate. It is a plant-based form of boron. It's another cofactor nutrient that is essential for bone building. So this just gives you an idea of the genius and the brilliance behind the formulation of these nutrients, right? So this supplement is for bone building, right? But also supports your immune health as well. So the next 2 products are really just one product, but taken at different times in order to coincide with your body's natural circadian rhythms. So what about your circadian rhythms? These are our internal biological clocks. You have a master one in the brain, you have some in your peripheral tissues as well. And your circadian rhythms really work in sync with the light and dark cycles I just want to point out there that if you look at 6 p.m., that's when your blood pressure is the highest, your body temperature highest at 7 p.m. By 9 p.m., you start having melatonin secretion and so on. Do you see that?
Hmm.
How your body biologically is working in the circadian rhythm system. So the AM and PM were designed to work intelligently with your natural body rhythms. How genius. I never really thought
Wow.
about that before taking my vitamins and minerals in sync with my circadian rhythms. Never thought about that, but obviously the geniuses at the Linus Pauling Micronutrient Institute, they knew about that. And that's why they brought these, right? I just want to point something out. It's also important to think about your circadian rhythms when you're eating food and your meals, right? So I'm a big advocate of a time restricted overnight fast of 12 to 14 hours. And in fact, one study showed that cancer survivors who fasted greater than 13 hours per night overnight, and these subjects were followed for 7 years, they found that they had a significant decreased risk of cancer recurrence. So you see how important it is that we eat and that we take our nutrients in sync with our circadian rhythms. Wow, so cool. So just think of what you've learned already today, right, Nikki? I hope people learned
Right.
something new today, right? Taking your nutrients with your circadian rhythms and sync. That's a really cool concept, actually. And so let's talk about these two products. We have an AM product and a PM product. And since one product taken at different times. So the AM product, of course, contains lots of our vitamins and our minerals, right? Do you see that? You can see that on the screen. And then one thing I really want to point out that's really wonderful about these products is that the folate and the B12 are methylated. Folate is 600 or about 60% of the folate is methylated, and the B12 is 100% methylated B12. This is because almost 50% of the population have a gene defect where they're unable to process folate or B12 unless they are in this methylated form. So the concern is that these nutrients can build up in the blood, right? But by taking them as this methylated form, that they can metabolize them and utilize them in all of the various pathways within the body, right? And so this is really another genius behind these products, is that anybody who has that MTHFR gene defect can take these nutrients. More genius behind these. And this is more nutrients that's in our AM product. And one thing that's added, as you can see on your screen, you're getting some trace minerals, selenium, copper, manganese, chromium, molybdenum, and potassium. And then a little ginseng in there. This is an adaptogen, and it helps us to handle stress, and it helps us give us a little more energy during the day. So all great, awesome nutrients. And so again, as you can see on the screen, all of the benefits of taking these nutrients, and especially in the morning, to get us energized and focused, right? The PM product, again, you're going to see some vitamins and some minerals in this one as well. And then you're going to have this proprietary blend of L-theanine, chamomile, and passion flower. These are calming herbs, and these are really to help you to relax and to feel calm before bedtime. And I can tell you that these nutrients have made a difference in my sleep. I found that I have been sleeping better, deeper, more of that REM sleep, which means if you get better sleep and deeper sleep, that means you're going to feel more energized during the day. Right. So what does Reset PM do? It helps, again, supports restful sleep, helps you to wake up feeling refreshed. And I can tell you, I've experienced that myself. I've been taking these now for about 6 weeks. About that 3-week point is where I really started noticing the difference. So the next question, and for those of you that have been taking any of the Protandim products, the protandim trisynergizers, you might have thought, is there any additional benefits of the taking these nutrient supplements along with the protandim products? Because we do know that the protandim trisynergizer pathways, they require a number of micronutrients to effectively affect a nutrigenomic gene expression, because that's what these protandim products do, right? They get right down to the level of your DNA to your genes, right? They are able to activate our survival genes, right? And they turn off a number of bad genes. And so this is that nutrigenomic expression. So our company conducted a number of studies, and these are cell culture studies, and they validated that, yes, indeed, combining the Rise AM and the Reset PM with the trisynergizers did increase the potency and the effectiveness of the trisynergizers. Let me give you a couple examples. Here is the cell culture study where they combined the protandim NRF2 synergizer with the Rise AM and Reset PM, that particular products, and they found a significant increase in the gene expression of glutathione. We know of glutathione as being like the mother of all antioxidants, right? It is a cellular antioxidant. You can't take glutathione in the pill. You got to get your body and your cells activated to make glutathione. And so just think, these products alone, the NRF2 synergizer, we know increases glutathione by 300%, but you're going to get another 67% increase in the expression of that glutathione gene when you take these micronutrients. So cool when I think about this, right? Just think about, of course, what I'm thinking, where my brain is going. We know we've done these cell cultures, and we know, like, with these products, with our trisynergizers, helping and enhancing those pathways, but there's like dozens of different pathways in your body, right? So this really does validate just how important these micronutrients are for your overall health and wellness, right? Now, this one showed that you get an increase of catalase, and that catalase gene, that's another antioxidant, cellular antioxidant, when you combine the dual protandim synergizers. Okay, that's the NRF1 and the NRF2 together. When you take those with the micronutrients, you're going to get an increase of this additional antioxidant enzyme. And when you do all three of the trisynergizers, NRF2, NRF1, and NAD, you're going to get a 68% increase in sirtuins. Wow, now that is really huge. That's huge. So that's a little bit about, the products, why they're unique and different. What I consider like these are the gold standard in micronutrient products, as far as I'm concerned. But what about actual consumer experience? And our company did run a consumer trial, and these consumers they took the Rise AM and the Reset PM for 90 days. And indeed, they had tremendous positive experience. You can see on your screen, they had increase in mental energy, physical energy, increase in alertness, improved mood, ability to relax, improved stress relief, and better sleep. Oh, awesome, awesome. And just some of the testimonies. I love this one. I wake feeling wide awake and alert. I'm happy to get out of bed and more easily than normal. So lots of great product, consumer experience, so positive. There's, like I said, there's already 58% of the population that are using a multivitamin supplement, and 80% take every day. I'm thinking, they're probably just going down and just getting, Nikki, I'm thinking they're just probably going to buy like a, one a day supplement off the shelf. My thoughts are that might be, maybe they might be saving on the price point, but I'm thinking if those micronutrients aren't working, and I think a lot of them are not, when I know about some of the formulations on some of those items, I'm thinking, are they getting any effect from those at all? So I would say the most expensive product that you can buy is the one that's not really doing anything for you, right? And so after, looking at these micronutrients, stop and think about what you're taking now. Does it have this type of intelligent design in how they're formulated? And are they considering micronutrients and working in sync with your circadian rhythms? Probably not, right? So I think with that, I'm Nikki. I'm going to wind down, and you can see on the screen the summary of what I talked about today, and just that our Timewise nutrient delivery system that's been intelligently designed in conjunction with the Linus Pauling Institute. I feel like these nutrients are really the gold standard in this category. Don't you think so, Nikki?
Wow, I am blown away by all of this, and just being able to think about having that extra push to be able to help us get that adequate sleep, to rest, recover. We all need it. And I feel like that's something that a lot of people talk about, that they struggle with. And then also being able to get out of bed feeling refreshed and ready to take on the day. And just looking at that slide with the circadian rhythm and seeing the difference, I think I could sit there and look at that for 20 minutes, being able to kind of get an idea of how important it is and what things really matter. So, Joanne, I love all of that. Thank you for taking the time to go over that today. Um,
You bet. Happy
Obviously,
to have.
people can dig into some of the product info sheets and read more about it. But thank you so much, and thanks to everybody who's hopped on and listened. And we hope that you get restful sleep, and that this fits definitely into your category of your nutrient
Yes,
choices.
so get back to the person if you're a guest looking at this webinar for the first time. Get back to the person who invited you to watch this, and they can help you get started with some gold standard micronutrients. Absolutely. Thank you, Nikki,
Perfect.
for having
Thanks,
me.
Joanne.
Yeah, take care. God bless. Bye bye.